Now it's time for Straight on the Point with Jesse T from some undisclosed location somewhere in the world. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Jesse T.
Hey, it's good to be back with you. The Brown Beauty is back on duty. The Jesse T Show as we move to the weekend in Southern California. Man, oh man, it's going to be a great weekend. And the weather's right. We're tight. And we're ready to get fit in the night, baby, as we break it off here. It's a little bit later than we usually start because some people way back earlier in the day were running late. Oh, my goodness gracious, but that's all right. As long as we get our 4 hours in, that's right. We're doing a special show, 4 hours. Right, Lee? Lee, 4 hours? 4 hours? No. Well, okay, I'm trying to convince him to do 4 hours because we're doing Roundup, Wound Up, and let me tell you what we do here. We're going to something breaking new. We've got some great guests in here, and of course, you know, TLC, the most beautiful guest of the panel, Tracy Lynn Cowan.
Hi, guys. What's up?
Tracy, fitness guru, man, lifestyle coach, motivational speaker. She has a show on just before us on every Wednesday afternoon, normally at 4 o'clock, but we're kind of kicking back a little bit later in the day. She's just terrific, and look at that those arms, man.
Guns.
That woman works out.
Guns.
She works out. She's guns. She's a guns, baby. Give me a gun flash. Come on.
One.
Yeah.
It's not a tumor.
I'm more like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yeah, that's Dan the Man, the Road Dog King. Dan the Man, the Road Dog King.
Hi, sports fans, and a zoom to you.
And hey, I can't forget about the man in the great cool hat, the shark himself, David Freilich. Yes, David Freilich. Yes.
The shark.
My mother says I have a face for radio.
Well, I'd say you got a face for the right place, baby. That's what I would say. Absolutely. And me, Jesse T, the Brown Beauty, is on duty, and we are doing the thing called Roundup, Wound Up, and we're going to get wound up. This is sort of like a barroom brawl going on, or maybe sitting in the bleachers at Dodger Stadium with one too many Budweisers, or maybe one too many 7-Ups, because I don't drink. We're on Instagram Live, saying hi to all our folks on Instagram Live, but we got my mug and not the pretty lady over there. Lee, can you adjust that camera over here on Instagram Live right there? And get that pretty lady in there because, no one wants to see my ugly mug. That's for sure. Yes. Well, my mama wants to see my ugly mug, but God rest her soul. Yes, there she is.
Hey,
yes. There you go. Absolutely. And we're on Facebook.com/Jesse Terrero, Straight on the Point, The Power of Voices, and YouTube Live, The Power of Voices, as well as Periscope. We got Periscope hooked up and going, Lee? Yeah. Okay, cool. Like that. So.
Right.
Oh, well, I'm not going to turn it on. Do I need to turn it on in order to hook it up there? Yeah. Oh, I do? Okay, here, you do that. Okay?
You got passwords on it?
No.
867-530.
Yes, that's right. Wasn't there a Jay Giles song?
Ricky,
don't lose that number. That's Steely Dan. Lose that number.
That's a great song.
That's a great song. Absolutely. Was that happening up there in Canada? Because that's where you're from.
Yeah,
Or
there's
is that
cool
just
kids
American?
up in Canada.
There are?
Yeah.
Eh?
Hey,
from
that's where I'm
Canada?
from. I'm a Canuck.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're
Canadian. I love that. Yeah.
You're a-
home of the Canadian back bacon and maple syrup. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love the
now
back
you love me.
bacon, baby. That's
I've
right.
been there probably 24 times. 2
Oh,
dozen.
nice. Okay.
I usually go to Calgary,
Yeah.
Edmonton,
Vancouver?
Banff, Sunshine, excuse me?
Vancouver.
Somewhat, yeah, not the
Okay.
majority, but I've been there 4 or 5 times.
Fantastic.
Well, let's just let them
Toronto,
have
eh?
a show. I've been to East LA, Dan.
Yeah.
Whittier, and
I'm
Dan,
just a
you're on
hockey
the block.
puck. CFL.
Are you sure 24
Oh,
times
yeah.
and not 23? Are you
2
absolute-
dozen, it's close to it. Probably, I don't know, my math Rolodex isn't working right now that great, but I've been going there for 18 years.
Yeah, they do a lot of shooting. Everybody, the Shark, he's a stunt man and an actor and a producer and writer and director and all the things that he's done in the motion picture business. IMDb him, it's like 1 mile and 10 feet long. It's really long and lean, man. That IMDb site is long and lean.
You're funny.
Wow.
Yes, it's so much stuff on there I can't ever remember.
It sounds
I
impressive.
mean, you go back about 35 years, don't you?
I got my SAG card in '89, but I was working Miami Vice and stuff like that, and Revenge of the Nerds
Right.
and Black Sunday.
So you
before
would be
that.
going to Canada because they did a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
love
shooting in the
Canada.
90s
Yeah.
and 2000s.
have a girlfriend up there. Had maybe some really good friends.
After this show, we don't know.
Well,
No longer.
yeah.
Okay.
Long story short, real good friends. Shout out Chris Tuddy, Steve Gillis, Mark McIntosh, all the boys and crew for around that area. And thank you again. They're having Stampede right now, which is the largest
Yes.
outdoor rodeo on the planet.
Have you ever been to Stampede?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I ended up. I drove up there and ended up flying home after a very interesting weekend and
Right.
a black eye after a stagette. So
Oh.
yeah.
Wow.
That
White
was
had
my
it.
experience.
Yeah.
And I wasn't riding a bull or a horse or anything.
What is it with all the Argentinians now taking over rodeo? It used to be all these American boys from Wyoming and Canada up there, Montana
Yeah.
and Idaho and Canada, but now it's all these Argentina fellas coming over.
know.
I mean, what's going on with
Everyone
them?
gets a shot. So
Huh.
Yeah,
You sure
they're-
you're not mispronouncing it and meaning Rodeo Drive?
Well, or if you're in another part of town, it's Rodeo Drive.
oh yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to be doing, I'm going to toss out some topics right now. You guys are going to comment on them. I want to hear what you have to say about marijuana, baby, cannabis. Cannabis in the state of California, about ready to go live 2018. All the state assembly is starting to make the rules in the cities and municipalities and counties. And one of the biggest problems with cannabis is what to do with all that money that they're making. Now, this is legalized medicinal marijuana and recreational use like they have in Colorado already, Oregon, Washington, and 8 other states, but and medicinal use across America. But so, what do you guys think about that? And what are we going to do about that? Do you think we're going to have a lot of 50 DUIs now, like they did in Colorado? A lot of DUIs with cannabis use, and what's going to happen to us here?
I believe that there will be, yes, definitely. I mean, as we saw it back in Colorado as well. I think it's great. I think legalizing marijuana is fantastic, especially medicinal. Helping people with chronic illnesses and diseases. So I think it's great, and people are doing it anyway. So you might as well legalize it and see what happens. You just don't know.
But they make a lot of money. And now there's some cats
They do.
that I know, they got $34 million sitting in a warehouse guarded by ex-SEAL Team 6 members spread all over the Northwest.
Yeah.
And they just don't know what to do with their money. The biggest problem is the federal system won't allow cannabis money to be put into their banks because it's against federal law. So the
Yeah.
state of California is now going to have 40 million people smoking pot. So that's a lot of money when they go in there and buy their eighth.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
True.
So what are they going to do with all that money? I think it's going to create crime. I think it's going to create, holdups and stick-ups and break-ins and all that
That's
stuff.
already happening.
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, it is already happening. So it's just going to monetize it, and it will eventually settle down, just like anything, when they pass a law. So I think it'll settle down over time, and there's so much crime around us anyways. So I really don't see it being a huge problem, but, I mean, that could be my Canadian naive ways. I don't know.
Maybe it'll be like Up in Smoke and Cheech and Chong, a lot of rolling 64s coming out, right?
That's
Yeah, that's right,
My
man.
friend's mom dated
Hey,
Cheech.
how about this? Dave, man. Dave, are you there?
Dave's not home.
Dave, man, it's me, Dave. Man, you got to let me in, Dave. Dave, come on, man. Open the door, Dave.
Oh, wow, man.
What? Dave, come on, man. I know it's you, man. Man, come on, man. Man, the Vice is out here, man. You got to let me in, man. Come on, man. They're coming down the street. Dave, let me in, man.
Gonna
Dave.
go downtown, gonna sing a song, gonna show him my...
Oh,
Wow, rhymes with song.
Oh, that's right. Absolutely. Oh, yes.
Bam,
everyone-
it's gonna
Yes,
get,
yes, yes,
It's
yes.
going to get fun in here.
Well,
Everyone in
well,
Denver's gonna be 8 miles high.
I think what we need. Well, talk about the Mile High Club. We're talking about that Mile High Club. You know the Mile High Club. Is when people have sex up in the plane.
Yeah, I've
right?
heard
Mile
about it
High.
once or twice.
That's right. Cannabis, right there. L.A. Times. Cannabis. That's right. Big article today in the L.A. Times. And essentially, I think what we're going to end up having here in 2018, there's going to be a bank or two that's going to be able to be created, which will house all of this money and get it off the street, because that possibly is going to be a big crime element. When you start talking to some of these cats at these medicinal places are making $200,000 a month. straight cash,
Yeah.
and so with
So
the
are they
recreational,
putting the cash in the bank? 'Cause
well, they can't right now because the
how do
federal
they know
system.
it's pot money? They check,
well,
like, where did you earn it?
Yeah,
They smell it.
No, yeah, like remember Miami Vice days, right? When every dollar bill had cocaine residue in it
Yeah.
for about 10
They're
years.
like rolling it out and brushing it off, tasting it, rubbing it on their gums.
You talk about baby powder, right?
I read a lot of books.
I took the Pepsi challenge.
Yes?
And Coke won.
Okay, I like that one.
And I don't do cocaine either, but I like the way it smells.
You do. Oh.
I'm not even
Okay,
touching that
Let's get
one.
back to the pot. You know what?
So
Because
wait a minute.
government.
That was a delayed joke. That was like it went from the front of the audience to the back of the room in this kind of multi-level network situation.
Those
Finally,
are really-
the drunk in the back
Smells
goes,
great.
Yeah, I think I got it. That's funny, right? Yeah, I like that. Thank you.
No wonder he didn't play baseball. The third baseline would have been gone.
Ta-da-da-bum.
Dun. Well, seriously, this is the issue. The reason why they can't put it in the banks is because federal law doesn't allow it. Secondly, the reason why you can't just hide it in another account like this article talks about, the one you showed, David, is the fact that when you deposit so much amounts of money into the bank is required under federal law to report that to the IRS. And if you start making tons and tons of deposits in multiple accounts, now we're not talking about guys and gals that have just a few thousand to deposit. We're talking about people that continuously make $150,000, $200,000 every single month in and month out. So they get reported. And then what happens in the audit and the regulatory process, the bank comes through, the auditors come through and they say, wait a minute, we see these 20 people depositing these large amounts. Where do they get their money? And so they have a right to ask where they get their money in the federal law.
Yeah.
So they don't do it because a few years ago in Colorado, what happened about 5 years ago, in Colorado, what happened is they were doing that. They were using false accounts. They were using all kinds of things to try to skinny around the federal law.
course.
But what took place was the federal regulators came in and said, tell you what we're going to do. If you don't ask them where they're getting this money, and you don't report that this money is coming from this type of cultivation or this type of medical marijuana medicinal use, if you don't report that, then you know what we're going to do? We're going to come in and pull all your assets. We're going to take your assets and we're going to close you down, which means they're not just going to take the assets of that one account. So if you're Bank of America or Chase, they'll come in and take all the assets Chase nationwide. So that's why Chase and Wells Fargo, Bank of America, City National will not do it. They stay away from it. And so that's why. That's the reason.
Plus, they have enough corruption and embezzlement and cases against them already for other bogus real estate deals or whatever like that. But I think part of the program in the near future is that the government wants to tax it and make some kind of revenue derived from that, and at the same time maybe control it because you have to. Is it it's been around for thousands of years, and people use it to make clothing and furniture and supplies and all kinds of stuff. The hemp, like there's no part of the plant that gets wasted if you know what you're doing. At the same time, there's indoor, outdoor, sativa, indica, this, Kush. I mean, there's 500 different labels where different strains, different chemical, different reactions. But the medicinal part, I think, is the key that the FDA, it's finally getting a clue that it helps kids with autism or old people with Alzheimer's or someone with a severe cancer pain or chemo reactions or something like that.
All right, so here's the vote. You vote. What do you vote for? Do you vote for America and all 48 lower states and the two out states out of the country, Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands will come involved there too? Do you vote yes, legalize medicinal use nationwide and recreational use nationwide? Tracy, yes or no?
Yes.
Dan the man.
Abstain.
Okay. You can't abstain. What do you want to abstain? You've got to say something.
Okay, I vote yes on no and no on yes.
Okay, that's good enough. The shark, yes or no?
Even if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice.
It's still a decision.
Yes, Christopher Walken.
It's still a choice.
I think to help the people out, yeah, and maybe they can use the money for something good besides whatever, and build new schools or another library or fix a road or give it broader electricity and help America out.
That's what Colorado's doing right now. They're fixing all their schools and infrastructure like they never could before. Oregon and Washington are doing the same thing. I vote yes on it. 10 years ago, I'd have voted no. 5 years ago, I'd have voted no. 3 years ago, I would have voted no. I vote yes on it because, 1, it takes the crime off the streets. 2, it helps. And 3, it's going to happen anyway federally. So let's let California lead the way. And let's make some money from it, baby. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, human trafficking. I got something to report about that real quick. In Ventura, soccer club, a guy had been there for 20 years. 20 years. He's been there for 20 years. He got popped for messing around with a 14 or 15-year-old 10 years ago. Now she's 24, 25, 26. And are we hooked up on Periscope now? Okay. And they arrested him on the soccer field, a prestigious, one of the very best soccer clubs in all of America, youth soccer clubs. I mean, they're one of the top 2 or 3 in America. He got busted. Human trafficking, pedophiles, pedophilia, all this crazy crap that's going on.
Watch your fingers.
Hey, that's right. In fact, the other day, I had a colonoscopy. I just thought you guys want to know about that.
Great talk, Jesse.
Yes, you like
Nice
that?
segue.
Yes. I had an endoscopy, too. So they were coming at both ends, and they met like the railroad systems in America, right in the middle of the country.
Didn't the doctor ask you, is it uncomfortable? Would you like me to take my ring off? He said to you, and you go, no. Why don't you take your watch off?
No, I just asked them to kiss me while I was asleep.
You are delirious.
Yeah, you're like, can we at least make out here?
Yes, I mean, I don't care
Please
whether you're a guy or
Some
girl.
foreplay, please.
Stop.
I'm asleep, and it's not my fault. Just kiss me, man. Do something to me. Do me a wraparound or
Cuddle
something.
me later. I
Give
need
me a
this.
wraparound, baby. Something.
He tried to slip him the
Lipstick
tongue.
me.
Oh, that's bad. That's
What are you
bad.
talking about? Essay.
Orale pues. That's right. So, what do you think we should do to these sick rat bastards across the nation? It's epidemic level, man.
Where do you start?
I don't know.
Because I don't want to name a certain sect or religion.
Well, let's
that's
go.
been doing it,
Let's go
but
in the entertainment
these
business right
people-
there. Let's
yeah.
take it to what Hollywood's all about. Where we're broadcasting live on the Jesse
Yeah.
T Show, Los Angeles, Hollywood. Let's take it right to the door. It's the entertainment industry has been notorious for perversion. Okay, and there are people in this town that are doing it right now. Right now, as we're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're scouting and recruiting.
Oh, yeah.
And in fact, there's this chick on my website, facebook.com/the Coalition Against Human Trafficking, because I'm the director of CAUT here in Los Angeles. 18-year-old woman. She looks like she's 14 or 15, right? 18 years old woman. She was 21. She looked like she's 14 or 15, and she had created one of the West Coast's largest networks of recruiting rings for 14 and 15-year-old girls and boys because she looked 14 or 15. And they finally popped her right here in
Probably
Los
on
Angeles.
Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, probably.
There's so many freaks and zoids
Yeah.
and
So how do we stop it? How do we clean the entertainment
you got to make
industry?
an example out of a few of them and hang them up in a public park by their nuts and say, no more. This is it. You're ruining these lives. You're messing up families. You're dividing that. You're kids after that they're confused. They want to commit suicide. They turn into drugs and whatever else. And it's just like, if it didn't happen, that wouldn't happen. It's a domino effect. It's bullcrap.
From a woman's point of view, I mean, if you had a little girl, a little boy, which you're a mom, you had
Yeah.
children, they're
Yeah.
grown now.
Yeah.
I mean, how would that make you feel if that happened? I mean, what would you want to do?
It's devastation on so many levels, and like you were saying, it's not just the family, it's not the parent, it's the sisters, the brothers, the aunts, the uncles, the friends, the community, the teachers, all that. I mean, they are affecting so many lives that it's just incredible. I don't even know if there's enough punishment
Right.
for a crime that drastic. Obviously, it upsets me because it's just so disgusting. I don't even know I don't even know what you could do with that because it's disgraceful, and these people need to be punished and
Slowly.
tortured.
They need to suffer.
tortured,
Yeah.
and they need to be.
They need to bring that back like George
you
Carlin
say.
said.
Yeah, and show the whole world.
Yeah.
This is what you
Put it
get
on prime
when you do
time,
this.
sell tickets.
Yeah.
Just
Just
get sponsors and
It's only fitting that it was a soccer coach so they should hang him upside down in the hot sun until he gets leather balls.
No, I look at man. Why not?
That's not
Absolutely.
even enough.
And you
That's
know
not
something?
enough. No.
This guy, this character, you know, he's a pretty handsome looking guy. It's like in his 47 years old, right? He's never been married. He lives in an apartment over a garage. 20 years. He's one of the best coaches for this one of the best soccer clubs. I mean, they came from everywhere to play for this club. Okay, and
So he could play with them.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Seriously. And this young girl who's
I have
maybe 14 or 15,
no pity for
she's
people
24,
like that.
25 now, 10 years later. It bothered her so much for 10 years
Yeah.
that, you know, he forgot about it. Did you know the statistic on these perverts is that when they get caught, both male and female, because we're seeing it happen in the schools, the girls are, the women teachers are taking advantage. Now, you know, you're a guy, hey man, why not? You know, I wish I had a teacher that would have advanced on me. What can I say? I'm serious. I wouldn't have complained one bit. Yes, I know, I'm bad, but that's okay. That's just me, Jesse
You're
T.
going to get a spanking.
Oh, really? Will you spank me? Spank
With
me?
a wet noodle.
Yeah,
Yes.
not my
Yes.
noodle.
Oh, no, don't spank me there. I got spanked a
Hopefully
couple of
no
days
noodles
ago.
in there.
Thank you very much.
Just
That
till it
noodle.
stings.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Thank you. Is that why I moved to Sydney, to meet Sydney, Australia? Okay.
There is no harsh enough punishment
No.
for people
No.
that do that.
It wrecked this
Yeah.
woman
Yeah.
for 10 years
And
to
it'll
the
continue
point
to wreck her forever,
that
for a
the
lifetime.
only thing she could do at 24, 25 to
Yeah.
reconcile her inside, to reconcile, she had to finally speak about it 10 years
Yeah.
later. That's how
Yeah.
much it wrecked this young girl.
Yeah.
You know, if I was their father, I would kill him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just telling you. I would walk up with my 45, you know, and
Yeah.
I would drop him.
As a
With
mother,
my nine-
I
with
would,
my
I would kill
9/11.
them. I seriously would.
my 19,
a
I would
son
drop
or a
them.
daughter, it doesn't matter. I would kill the
Put
person.
me in jail then.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know,
It would
I
be
drop
worth it
them.
to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would do it even if it wasn't my kid. Just to take that punk, the perv, out of the system and not put him in a $45,000, $60,000 a year jail where he has, you know, TV and
Yeah.
gym and this and that, and Bubba's handling
Yeah.
his, you know.
Yeah.
It's
No.
a waste of
3
waste
hots
of-
in a cot, right? Air
You don't get
conditioned.
that opportunity.
No,
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 I
no.
agree. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. All right, so let's go to Trump real quick. We won't last too much on politics because everybody has a diverse angle on this. But what do you think about what's happening to him in terms of all this stuff? To me, it's a big witch hunt. Now they're going after his son, and they're going after all of that, and they can't tie him to anything, in my opinion. So, you know, where are we at on that? Now they're going after his son, saying Russian collusion, Russian this, Russian that, and I ain't Russian anywhere because I move very slow. Yes, thank you. Yes. Well, what about Obama? What about Clinton? When she was the Secretary of State, giving 20% of our uranium,
Selling.
it,
Yeah.
the money kicked back to the Clinton Foundation.
Imagine that.
Gee.
Oh,
And
yeah.
$5 billion
Corrupt.
going missing while she was Secretary of State. Did I say that out loud?
Well, that was
Yeah.
Donald Rumsfeld.
Is that a fact?
You know?
Ooh.
Yes.
Some people hate the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Janet Lynch? What about on the tarmac? What about all these other people? Now you're from Canada,
Mm-hmm.
so you know.
Justice Scalia?
Yeah. What about him
That was
disappearing?
so
real
convenient
quick? So
they could, you know.
here's from looking at it from another
Cremate the
country's
body
point of view.
before
What is
the-
your observation on that?
Well, it's very hard for me to watch because, again, you know, I'm new into the American politics. I've only been here for about 3 years. I did follow it, but, you know, I would like to say that I followed it more before I got here.
Right.
I never really thought I would be living in America at one point in my life. So it's hard for me to watch. I think there's a lot of corrupt activities. I think it's an embarrassment. And, you know, just even talking about the American politics when I was home in Canada, and people are like, "Are you sure you don't want to come home?" You know, like that's.
Oh, when you went up there?
Yeah,
Was that
I
home,
was
right?
just got back from Canada yesterday, you know, and it's hard to watch, you know, and you know, I keep pretty tight-lipped about politics, being from another country,
Yeah.
but it's very hard to watch, and I've seen a lot of, you know, corrupt things happening, and especially with Hillary and stuff like that. I was never a fan of her, and so yeah.
Well, here's an interesting thing about the military versus the political situation and how the president's changed from party to party. During Bush 1, okay, our military was really weak.
Yeah.
Okay, it had been scaled back from the Reagan administration to Bush 1. He had scaled it back. Okay. And then Clinton came in and scaled it back a little bit more. And then Bush 2 came in and found out that we got bombed on 9/11, so he scaled it up. He ramped it up tremendously. When Obama came in, he scaled it way back.
Yeah.
To the point that in January of this year, we have 10 aircraft carriers worldwide to patrol all our seas. 11. One is just about ready to go.
Okay.
In January of this year, for the first time since 1941, there was no aircraft carrier patrolling the seas of this world representing the United States of America because they didn't have parts, they didn't have crew, they were all in dock. In January of this year, 58 brigades of the United States Army, there are 58 brigades. Only 3 brigades are combat ready from the top to the bottom out of 58 brigades. 2/3 of the United States Army Corps, the Army, infantry, the people that really do the work, okay, 2/3 are not ready to fight. Only 1/3 of our Army is ready to fight.
Wow.
So when you start asking, in terms of military buildup, and you look at the presidents, this is why America is America, because we protect and defend ourselves as well as everybody else in the world. So, but they're going after this president like he's the devil.
How dare you have a strong military and closed borders to illegals that aren't vetted? Oh my God, what's wrong with you? And then you look at France and Sweden and Germany and England, and there's all kinds of crap and fake news and stuff like that. But let me just say something. I'm ex-military. Started out Tadpole, Sea Cadets, Naval Reserve, then the Air Force ROTC. My dad was a major under MacArthur. For the first time in history since the people that brought you Pearl Harbor, Japan, and we dropped the 2 bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki from the Enola Gay. It was illegal. They made a law, and the last president, what's his name, Barry Soetoro?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Put all 5 or 6 of them together in one place, which was against all kinds of military combat stuff because we're all sitting ducks with one nuclear bomb or whatever to take out. How many ships do we have? 8 or 9?
We have 10 aircraft
Well, there was
carriers.
5 of them together, so half of our fleet would have been gone with one bomb instead of them being, apart from each other like they were supposed to. So I just had to say that was very wrong and very mischievous, not to mention I don't know how many hundreds of executive orders. But if we don't stand behind our flag, not just the red, white, and blue, but don't tread on me, and you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because our colors don't bleed.
No, we all bleed red.
Yeah, white and blue.
That's right.
Yeah. And without this country, the rest of the world's going to go to shit. And you wonder why so many people are leaving these third world countries, coming here, escaping their land to do what? Make it like the place they left?
And to talk about that.
Really?
Yeah. Really.
Yeah.
Is that what we want to come to? And talk about that. Did you know that all the Silicon billionaires, and this is what they're ramping up right now. I'm on one of those prepper dudes, so survivor prepper dudes.
Yep.
I got a couple of M35A2 Deuces. I've got the whole setup. I got the bunker being built. I got the whole 9 yards,
Nice.
okay?
Great.
And I got the land, and I got the water running all the time on God's blue, green earth. I'm one of those guys. I can take care of my family for 25 years worth of food. All right, so here's the point. I got lots of Band-Aids and bullets.
And
Okay?
a shovel and some lime.
Right. That's right. 30-06, baby. At 600 yards.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bam. Okay, now, here's the point I'm trying to make there. All the billionaires in Silicon, what do they say? Follow the money. If you want to make money and be successful, you follow those that have paved the trail and gotten theirs. Follow them, copy them.
Yeah.
All right? All the billionaires in Silicon Valley, all have set up some kind of doomsday preparation place to go to. Zucker owns 750 acres on a Hawaiian island. The guy who started Oracle owns 3/4 of an Hawaiian island. They all have bunkers. They all have hundreds of thousands of acres around them. They're all ready to go. One of the cats, I can't remember his name. He not only owns an island down there in the U.S. Virgin Islands, he bought an airline to fly him down there in case something happens. Okay? So when we're talking about that, so what are they telling us? They're telling us that we better be prepared, which means our military better be prepared.
Right.
And
They got places, whole cities, 500 something acres with air and food and shopping and clothing and stuff underground in the middle of America that most people don't know
yeah,
about.
they're deep underground
Yeah.
military bases.
And
right?
only if your name's not on the list, you don't get in.
Right. They got Raven Row, I believe it's just outside D.C. It's a million square feet. They've got a place in Virginia where the judicial systems, the Supreme Court justices are going to go, and the Declaration of Independence, the original documents are going to go. And these are the ones that we know about.
Yeah.
So they're saying that military is very important, and they have a question about our military. You see, that's what you're going to get in Roundup. Wound up, baby. You're going to get some.
Woo!
That's right.
Oh, check yourself before you wreck yourself.
That's right. ABTV Live in the Digital Broadcasting TV Network. Okay, cross-section of views. Hey, you got to say what you got to say. We want to hear it, and that's what we do here. And we're going to start doing more and more of this kind of stuff because I think it's important to have some diverse views. Trying to get Lee Baby Michaels in here because, I like to hear his point of view, but he's over there taking care of his own business right now. Lee!
Come on, Lee.
Come on,
Shout
Lee.
out.
He's all that
Give me a
in a bag
shout
of
out,
chips
Lee.
over there. What's going on?
Brother of another
Come on,
mother.
Lee.
Come on.
Come on.
What do you want me to say?
What do you think of Trump?
Sucks.
Ah, you see?
Yeah.
We love Lee. Lee.
Tell us how you really feel, Lee.
Yeah, please. Yeah,
Don't hold back.
You can check him out every morning, daily here from 10 to 12, and he
Un-American.
he gives you the Trump sucks, and I give you the Trump love, baby. That's right in the afternoon.
And it's up to you, the viewing audience, to find that happy median on what works for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, the 2024 Olympics, I believe it is, are coming back, or the 2020 Olympics are coming back to Los Angeles. Oh,
Awesome.
great! No traffic. Are you kidding me?
Well, if it gets any worse, how could it possibly get worse?
Oh.
How does this? How does that
Do you
work?
know how much baby making is going on and how many hospitals are popping out
Right.
babies? And they're all going to
Yeah.
be 16 at some point? We ain't got the
boy.
freeways. Do you know that
It's about the money, though.
Do you know that
Does it bring
Latinos
some money
make
in?
more babies
Jesus.
than Anglos? Latinos make 5.2 babies a family.
Oh, I believe it.
Latinos make 1.
Latinos know what's
Anglos, yeah, man, that's right.
They know what's
Look,
up.
I like practicing making babies, but I don't like fulfilling the dream anymore.
Yeah. I'm
If
a
I
fan
don't
of
have
Latinos.
kids, my family tree turns into a stump.
I've been shooting blanks for years.
Are they big blanks or small blanks?
I don't know who the master
Quarter
man
loads.
was, but he left a silver bullet.
I'm having way too many visuals here. Okay.
Yes,
Come
that's
on.
right. Gee, thanks, Dan the Man. Dan the Man, the Road Dog
You're
King.
most welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. But seriously,
There's
traffic-
another sect of people that are having more kids than even the Hispanics.
Gee, I wonder who that is.
Canadians.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Canadians. No, yeah, but they do.
They're
no,
making
actually,
bacon.
Canadians make 1.67 babies per family.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There's
According
this
to-
world thing. Like if you don't make more than 2 kids that replace the mother and the father that
Yeah.
made them, then
You
after
lose your
so many
country.
years, yeah,
You lose your
and that's
country's
what's happening.
culture.
Certain
Yeah.
countries are having 4 and 5 wives, and you have to have so many kids. And Jesus, where's all the food and the water and the medicine?
Wait a
and
minute. Are you
school?
talking about those psychotic, crazy, psychopath killers that like to chop people's heads off with swords? They make 8.8 babies per family in Europe right now. Is that-
Probably more than that. And it's not just them; it's the umbrella that they fit underneath.
Yes, boy,
Yeah.
they make a lot of babies.
Yeah,
They are
and that's how they're going to take over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's population growth. In
Yeah,
fact, the
it's-
Catholic Church even said about 5 or 6 years ago that they've changed some of the dogma. The Jesuits
Oh, yeah.
have changed some of the dogma around pregnancy and birth control, etc., because they know one thing, that the Islamic ideology,
That's them.
the Islamic ideology is making more babies than the Christian ideology, Judeo-Christian ideology. Outpace them. That's why we have illegal aliens in America, and because hey, white folks, you ain't making enough babies.
No, you're not.
I know. Come on.
Come
Get
on.
going, you guys.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Come on, what's wrong with
You
you?
gotta work this.
Got to work it. Got to work that.
Got to put that PlayStation controller down.
No.
Yeah, right.
Are you talking like
Back away from the video
Wait a
game.
minute,
Choke it. Is that like an electric toy? Growing?
I know. I was like,
Keep up with its master's slave. Yeah. Get a solar power.
do it again, Jesse.
Sounds like a beginning of
That
a,
sounds like it's malfunctioning.
Oh,
Sounds
really?
like
You
he's
had
had a rough.
Or
yeah.
Van
Can you-
Halen
can you-
songs.
can you-
I cannot relate. Nope.
No.
Don't know anything. Plead the fifth.
Okay,
Don't
Dan
say
the man.
anything, Dan.
Can you relate?
Mum's the word.
You know why moms don't use vibrators?
Why?
Because it chips their teeth.
Oh, yes. Yes, I absolutely. So, okay, back to
Fill
the,
in your blank.
back. Buddy, I've been filling my blank for 22 years. Okay, thank you very much. Okay.
You better buzz off.
Can we go back to the
Hey, wait,
Islamic,
oh.
the Muslims? Because not all of them are bad, just like not all blacks, not all whites, not all
No.
Chinese,
Yes,
not all so and so. And I feel for the ones that are good, that are getting a bad reputation, just
Right.
like lawyers. You know, 99% of them give 1% the other bad name.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's good and bad in everybody. It's what you do with yourself. If you're morally, ethically, spiritually
That's right.
evolved and somewhat educated, because you see some of these people either in a store or in traffic that blink real slow, and then you could tell them anything. It's like, really? Those kind of people, and that's what's hurting when they vote and they breed and they don't know what the hell they're doing or
They
how
vote
to
and they breed.
Yeah.
And they breed.
Jeez.
They're
And they
spawning.
breed,
They're
yeah.
spawning people.
And
a
there's just like
species.
George. I keep referring back to George Carlin,
Wasn't
but
he great?
all kinds of comedians
Yeah.
just think
Right.
there should be a law against stupid, because stupid people
Yeah.
don't know they're stupid.
Yeah.
They don't. That's
Wait,
why they're
so
stupid.
stupid. They're
Are you
stupid.
talking about our
Idiots.
governor, El Stupido Brown?
Oh my God!
Right? He's got to be the
Go
most
down
stupid
the
guy in the
list.
world.
Go
Yeah.
down the
I think
list.
he's just
Name 'em all.
88 years old, and he's kind of
Oh
lost
my
realm
God.
of reality.
A little bit of both?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
Combo.
Or
yes. Yeah.
you have to pass the law before you can read what's in it.
No.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Amen.
Right. Yeah.
Well, this
Dangle
kind of
the
makes
carrot.
some twisted sense.
I'm sorry, guys, and I don't mean to get politically.
Maybe that's why they want to recreationalize marijuana, because everybody would be high and they can pass all the laws they want.
Wow.
Run, Forrest, run.
Go, Dan. I love you,
I
man.
second that.
And I have Dan to thank too. Dan the man, been my friend for a long time, to introduce me to this show that I was on 2 or 3 weeks ago about the time my dog died, nitrous, after 15 and a half years. So thank you, brother. I really appreciate
You're
it.
very welcome.
TLC, nice to meet you from Canada.
Yeah, nice
I'm
to
sure
meet you, too.
we'll keep in contact after this. You going to chime in on anything else there, brother?
He's
Mr.
so
Williams?
busy eating Lay's over here.
Ah.
He's eating all them potato chips up over there.
Back away from the chips, Lee.
oh,
The
yes.
noisiest
Oh,
chips in the
yeah.
world.
I love it.
Crackers.
He calls them healthy.
Crackers.
So let's
Don't
talk,
make me get into that.
So
A
let's
black
talk
man
about
eating
health.
crackers?
Let's talk. Oh, that's yes.
Hi, I'm
These
Granny
are
Goose.
Healthy.
Right.
Elfin, quit elfing around. Here you go.
Look, what color are my boots? What color's your dress?
Black.
No, African American.
It's all about perception.
Round up, baby.
I
That's
love
kinda
you
stuff we're
guys,
doing.
man. I hope
Hey.
to get some feedback. And guys,
Chime
share
in,
this
share
with
it.
people.
Yes, share it, share it out, like
And then
it out, send it
ask
out.
questions and post things and give us comments and responses, because we're only as good as the people we surround ourselves with.
Well, jeez, I'm going down like a Titanic now.
Are you trying to say I look fat?
Is it sure?
Leave Linda Lovelace out of this.
Oh, we're going way back in old school. Linda Lovelace.
Linda Lovelace.
Oh my Lord, Linda
There's
Lovelace.
a story.
But I love Canada. It's our northern neighbor. You guys have been there for
We
us.
should build a wall around Canada.
I'm not
We
so
gotta
crazy about some of the leaders
We got to
in
build a wall
every
around
country.
Canada. We
But
need
yeah.
a wall.
I was worried I wasn't getting back into the country.
Right.
I got interrogated yesterday.
Did you really?
Yeah, I
What-
did. They held me and contained me for a little bit, and basically
Here in LAX?
No, in Canada, coming across the border to come back because I'm in an immigration process right now. So I had a travel ban on me for a year, and after all the everything that's
Muslim?
been going on, yeah, I'm part Islamic. Yes.
I didn't know that. Really?
No, and
Assalamu alaikum.
exactly
I like
10
it
times, 10 times over.
The Lakers. Liquors or Lakers?
Lakers or liquors? Right.
Yeah, I think it's the liquors. Yeah, and the
Lakers.
Lakers. I like both.
Salam kalam yalam to salam your lawn furniture.
They didn't want me to come back in,
I'm not
but I
making
made it through.
Excuse me, is that a turban on your head or are you carrying a beehive? Thank you very much.
So what happened?
Yeah,
So
Q&A.
basically, it was a year-long process, and they gave me a travel ban note saying I could go back to Canada. It was my first time flying back, and she basically goes, "Well, what are you doing here?" And I'm like, "Well, my family's here. I'm coming to visit, and I want to go back home." Well, what did you marry to get your citizenship? That's what she asked me.
Wow.
And I said,
Was
no.
this TSA or immigration?
Immigration. I said, no, I did not. And she goes, well, you're divorced. And I said, yes, it didn't work out. She goes, so like I said, you married for your immigration. I said, like I said, no, I did not. And she goes, well, you're going to have to come into the back with me. And I said, no
Get
problem.
out of here.
So she put me in the back, and this other lady came over, and I was terrified
With
at
the
this
gloves
point.
on?
Yeah, she actually did have gloves on.
Was she a ventriloquist?
Was she carrying one of these?
Small hands?
She had like gorilla hands.
She was a
I was
ventriloquist.
scared.
That's right.
So yeah,
Right.
before she spanked me, I'm just kidding.
Really?
So no.
Can I see that?
So anyway,
Dan,
the
can you
other lady
spank
was-
me? Thank you.
Do you want Dan to spank you?
Yes.
Thank you
I thought
very
I was
much.
going to spank
Oh,
you.
you'll spank. I just
I'll spank
no,
all
no,
of
look,
you all
that,
at
that was a
once.
devious way because he's sitting by you. I figured you'd chime in. See, they would
Oh yeah,
go kinetic
reverse
energy.
psychology.
Yes,
yeah, you
thank
got
you.
me. You just
Oh,
wanted me to
Lord.
spank you.
Yes,
I get
I
it.
do.
Okay, so
finish it.
anyway, the next lady was very nice. She goes, well, why are you here? And I said, because this other lady said that I'm married to get my immigration. And she goes, she said that? And I said, yeah. And she goes, oh, you're good. She stamped it. And she goes, be on your way. So I
Wow.
sat in there for 48 minutes
For
sweating.
no- oh,
going,
yeah. Are they gonna let me back?
I'm not going home.
That's right, I'm not-
And yeah, there was no like cavity searches or anything like that.
No,
Not this time.
No.
Usually
I'm
flying
telling
home
you,
from Vegas, but
you Canadians are
We're trouble.
you're trouble. We need
We
to build
are.
a wall. I'm telling you.
Around America and Canada, and
Yes.
just keep this whole continent
Yes. No.
safe. Because
no,
no one,
no,
no one's
no.
leaving
Lock us
here
in together.
We, got,
going
no,
to
we don't
We're
have
good.
to worry about building
We
a
know
wall
we
on the
need
coast. We
America.
got the Pacific and Atlantic
Yeah,
Ocean.
I love Canada. I don't want a wall between us.
No, the
Yeah.
Arctic. We need
Our
a
walls
wall
are
because
together.
But
the
you don't see
the-
people leaving Canada and America going to Syria and Afghanistan
Exactly.
and Baghdad and North Africa and these
Gee, they don't
wars
have any
torn
immigration
countries
problems
and,
in
you know,
Russia.
North Korea. No one's moving there.
No.
You know the one thing I
Yeah.
noticed when I was in Russia, there were no Mexicans in Russia.
I love Mexicans. I love
But
everyone.
what I'm saying is they don't have an immigration problem anywhere in the world but America because everybody wants to come here.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
this is the land of opportunity
Yep.
and the great land that we live
And
in.
handouts.
And I mean,
Free stuff.
in that respect, yes, absolutely.
I'm grateful to be here
Yeah.
and going for my U.S. citizenship. So I'm
All
a
right,
dual citizen.
I can't wait. We got to go
So-
see that when you get sworn in.
Thank
and-
you. Yeah,
and
it's
that'll
going to
be a
happen
fun
very
time.
soon. So
I have one question,
Hmm.
and this happened when Dan and I were traveling, and they TSA'd him, and they asked him, and I'm going to be the TSA guy asking you the question, how can you tell, sir, if your girlfriend is ticklish?
Give her a testicle.
There you go.
Bada boom.
bada bang.
I think that's
On
it
that
for roundup,
note-
wound up.
on that note-
that's it for roundup, wound
Leisure
up.
Just like,
FCC.
wow.
FCC.
Oh boy.
You guys rock,
I've missed
man.
so many days with you guys. We got to hang out more.
Sefa, it's not my fault. I found these guys
This
on
is our
the
last
Yeah.
episode, evidently.
Well,
person.
we'll get the
different
text
from
on
the
the way
TLC
home
Unleashed
out of
show.
here. Yeah. Thank you so much. Your service will not be needed any further.
Yeah, and I'm going back to
Oh
Canada
no! You know,
tonight.
I was
Thanks,
fired
guys.
from a radio station once, and I was doing afternoon drive, 3 to 7. Had great numbers, right? And I'm fired in Santa Barbara. I was fired from this station. I get to the station, and the security guard meets me down at the bottom floor of the elevator, right? And he gives me my box. I had my box, my headphones in there, and on top of the box was the pink slip in the last check. And I said, well, he goes, your services are no longer needed. I said, well, what did I do? Can I go? No. So he wouldn't let me in. So I caught up with Dick Williams, who's passed away now, and he was a Dick Williams. And I caught up with him 6 or 7 months later and asked him kind of what happened. He goes, well, Jesse, look at, you used to do the traffic reports coming into Santa Barbara, right? And I said, oh, yeah, right up a PCH there from Carpinteria, right? Santa Barbara is a coastal city here
Beautiful.
in California, all right? And when you're coming up to Santa Barbara, you're going north from Los Angeles. And we used to send you out to do the the morning traffic reports. I did afternoon drive, but they needed traffic. And I said, yeah. He goes, we love your traffic reports. They're great.
But
And I said, well, then why did you fire me? Why am I? He goes, well, after a week of traffic reports, we figured that
there's still traffic.
we needed to let you go. And I said, why is that? Weren't they good? He goes, well, yeah, they were great. But this is the summertime, and it's not raining in Santa Barbara. So did you do the traffic reports from your bed at home?
Busted.
Wow.
So they weren't paying me any more money. So I would, in Santa Barbara, the weather never changes. There's a month in there where the weather is just so friggin' consistent, right? It's always the same friggin' so I was making up traffic reports saying, the tow truck crashed into the motorcycle and going northbound on 101,
Yeah.
watch out for
Take
the
a
pedestrian.
shortcut through.
Right? And so I created traffic mayhem in Santa Barbara, and people were going
Wasn't
crazy
existent.
about it, and it never happened.
I'm
now,
surprised you lasted
Lee,
that long.
50 years in the radio business, Lee, would you have fired me for that?
No, it shot you between your eyes.
Nice.
That is funny.
Come on, you know that was ingenious. You know that was ingenious. Come on. Come on, man. You got to
He's laying
expect.
in bed,
That's
sipping
right.
his morning coffee.
All right.
Mayhem everywhere.
Yeah, I would write
Trucks
them out.
crashing.
I was creative. And I had to be because every day there was a new traffic report, right? So I was really creative.
There's a first.
Yeah, well, there's a first for everything with Jesse T and the Jesse T Show right here on AVTV Live and the Digital Broadcasting TV Network and the home of the PowerVoices.com and the Global Radio Network. Good to have you along with us. We're everywhere and having a great time and doing a lot of good stuff on Instagram Live and Periscope and live stream. And we're broadcasting live with my crew here. We got the Shark Man himself, the Shark David Shark Freilich, right to my left here, and Dan, the man,
I'm a road king.
the Road Dog King. And TLC Unlimited, you can check her out every Wednesday at 4 o'clock, and she's all around town at Red
She's
Carpets.
worth checking out.
Oh, thank you.
And, we did, I promise I will get you those videos for LA Fitness last year, maybe in a couple of years.
Oh, yeah. But
I was
the
actually
next
in-
year.
Men's Health and Fitness a while back. But
Yeah.
welcome to America and
Thank you.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it here. I would not change it in the world. This is my home now.
And hanging out with us here. I mean, this
You're
is
in bad company.
Yeah, well, I know
That
that.
was actually
You
a
guys
good
are-
group. Bad
Great,
Company. I
great,
love that.
great band.
You know what?
Yeah.
After Bad Company broke up, you know what some of them became? Bachman Turner Overdrive. Taking care of business. BTO.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. BTO, baby. And my favorite groups there. Absolutely.
People try to put us down.
Just because we get around.
Down.
I'm not trying
Trying
to
to-
cause a big sensation. Go ahead, Dan.
Okay.
He just talking about his generation.
I love it.
All right. Real quick. Another topic real fast as we end up. How much time we got left, Big Lee?
About 11 minutes.
Oh, okay, good. We got to cover a couple more things. Homeless in Los Angeles. Homeless in Los Angeles. I was driving down the freeway. I count the homeless every year when I was running for city council, and I was actually part of the city council of the city of Sun Valley. We part of our duties was counting the homeless. It's a nationwide program that goes on once a year, and we would go up into the area of Hanson Dam, which is the Big Tahunga and Little Tahunga Wash area.
Okay.
And it's a lot of underbrush. Natural water comes down from the Los Angeles National Forest, and we would count the homeless. In fact, there are more homeless in the northeast San Fernando Valley, which is the largest council district, 7, square footage-wise, than any other district in Los Angeles. And it was pretty amazing to see how the homeless
Pathetic.
were living and how the homeless were enjoying their lives. That's the thing that dawned on me. And so I did some homework on this several years ago, and it blew my mind that out of 100% of homeless people, there's about 60,000 here in Los Angeles right now. We're talking LA City, not
Yeah.
the county. not Ventura, not Orange County. We're just talking LA City proper. About 60,000. All right. 80 to 85% of those people like living on the street and do not want to get off. About 10% of those people do everything they can to get off the street. Their families are living in a station wagon or the SUV, and they go to every program available because there's hundreds of programs that we alluded to earlier for the homeless to help feed them, to help them re-educate them, to help them re-employ
Been there,
themselves.
done that.
Okay?
Amazing.
And they do everything, and they get off the street anywhere from 18 to 36 months, depending on their situation. And then there's about 5 to 10%, and don't hold by math, but about 5 to 10% that are just chemically imbalanced. They're psychologically impaired, or they're just their brains are wasted from too much drugs, or their disease, or they're that's it for them. Okay, so what do you think about those statistics, guys? I mean, when you go give somebody $1 to go to Mickey D's and get a cheap hamburger or a Jack in the Box and get a couple tacos or something, they
usually don't spend it on food.
80% of them
never.
don't spend it on anything. They put it in their pocket, and they live pretty good. So, helping the homeless, really, you're not helping the homeless, and that bothers me, that statistic.
There's homeless in Santa Monica, in Malibu, very few in Beverly Hills because they run them off to other parts of the town.
Very few in Burbank. They do the same thing.
Same thing. But it's an epidemic under every, it smells like urine, and there's graffiti and an overpass or a park.
Well, you know why? Because the LA City Council, about 7 years ago, passed an ordinance in the city of Los Angeles that the homeless can poop and pee on the city streets and not be picked up for any kind of sexual deviation or offenses or exposure, because there's not enough bathrooms for them to poo and pee in. So they can do it on the street, defecate and urine. So that's.
But
why.
if I did it,
oh no, if you did it,
I'm a perv, and I got to put an anklet on and register as a sex offender by pissing on a bush 300 feet from anybody.
So how is this sanctuary city of Los Angeles going to ever handle the homeless? And now we got the Olympics coming in, and all the cameras and all the media. You think they're going to show the homeless in Los Angeles?
Of course not.
No.
And I've done, when I was on the soap opera for 8 years, Young and the Restless, as Larry Wharton, because of that show, which launched my career as a soap star, whatever, bad guy, we would spend so much donating to Skid Row. And if you guys aren't familiar with it, it's blocks and blocks of downtown city in between high rises where they have tent city, and people that are ex-CEOs and business tycoons and multimillionaires that just, I got more money so I can work longer, so I can buy more Coke, so I can stay up, so I can make more money, so I work longer, so I buy more Coke, so I can stay up longer, and they lose everything. And then when ice, glass, meth, crack, whatever
now
came
the
out,
opiate syndrome that's happening,
and they got stuff now.
Opiate,
one drop of
the
it,
internet, you can buy these scientifically designed opiates. They just killed a 14-year-old girl.
They
recently.
rot your brain from the inside.
They
but I'm
do.
just saying, like you said, they don't want to get off the street because then they got to live by someone else's rules. And I go down to the Mission and all these places, and I buy hundreds of dollars of Whoppers and burgers and this and drinks and perishables and sardines and whatever you can. And most of them just turn their nose up at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you do with them? I mean, do you have that homeless problem
Bring them
in Canada?
blankets and
do you have it in Canada?
pray
We
for
do.
them.
Yeah. And I've been exposed to
sad.
both it here and there as well, back in Canada, because the east side, downtown east side. So one street, which is the hoity-toity, beautiful, clean city, which Vancouver is.
Right.
And then on the other street, there's homelessness everywhere. And we had the Olympics there a couple of years back, about 6 years, I think now. Wow. And they didn't show it, but I mean, we had to clean up the city, and they just started implementing all these different programs because we're going to be on camera, and the world's going to see us. So they did clean it up a lot. And I did notice when I went back that it actually really, really, by what they implemented and the money that they put into it, they actually took a lot of people off the streets. So that
Why can't they do that in America? What's the problem with America?
Yeah, well, I think what
They're
you're
all
saying
humans,
too.
but
Sanctuary
everybody
cities,
looks down
man.
on them.
Yeah,
Sanctuary cities.
they do love being on the street. I've interviewed them on Skid
Sanctuary
Row.
cities.
Yeah.
Sanctuary cities. That's the problem, because they get federal money and state money to be a sanctuary city that they know they would not necessarily have gotten eaten before. Now, in order to be a sanctuary city, you have to have so many illegal aliens, so many homeless, so many open the doors to the few. It's a sanctuary city conundrum, man. I'm telling you, there's deceit in what they're talking about. We have been trying to do the homeless thing over there in the East San Fernando Valley for 25 years. I've been working on that ever since I got in the real estate business in my early 20s. 30 years ago, there was a homeless problem. I mean, I know Dan the Man, where he lives, you know, where he's at in the San Fernando Valley, there's homelessness all around you. They got tent cities.
Intense.
In in the center part of the San Fernando, they got tent cities that the police won't even go into because they're told by the city council of the city of Los Angeles. This is why I stopped running, because I would just be a finger pointing. They'd all hate my guts. Is don't go in there. Don't go in there.
Do not enforce the law that
Don't go
everyone
in
else
there.
abides by.
Yeah. Well, last time I was down on Skid Row doing actually a charity drive for the Rock and Socks charity.
Right.
We went down there, and there was actually a lot of police officers, and I actually saw somebody, a guy on the street selling just like little perishables, little tapes and whatever trinkets he had, and he actually got arrested.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've seen that in the times that I've been down there. So that was the first time. But they're patrolling, and again,
Well,
like
you know
say,
why
these
they're
guys
patrolling it? Yeah, I'll tell you why they're patrolling it, because the Arts District is right next to it, and Metro, the number one police division in the city of Los Angeles, these are the cats that govern and cover the presidents that come in.
Yeah.
Okay, these are the very best elite of the city of Los Angeles LAPD. Metro is right there on the backside of Skid Row, and the Arts District is on the other side. And the Arts District has produced, now is becoming the billionaire's paradise, and they're reinventing the whole arts and warehouse district to townhouses, and they're moving the homeless out.
Right.
Yeah.
That's that whole fight against that one man in the street about a year ago. It was all over the news.
Yeah.
They're moving them out slowly but surely, and they're moving them out. That's what they're doing. But they're not solving the problem.
No.
What is the problem, though? Why do American men and women go homeless in this greatest country in the world? How can that possibly be? We're not in Haiti. I've been to the Dominican Republic and Haiti. We're not there. Why?
Apathy, laziness.
Oh, come on, man.
Drugs.
Get to the point. Come on.
You
You're
tell
there.
me.
I'm gonna tell you, because there's money in homelessness.
There you go.
There's money in it.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun,
You have a
dun,
501c homeless shelter or food center, you are a millionaire. You own one of those, it gets made by the donors.
Politicians.
The building gets made by the donors. It is big money in nonprofit.
Yeah.
That's why. That's the only reason why. And that covers into the VA issue. Huh. Yeah, I mean, you're a military man.
No, I see it. That's what I was saying. A lot of the VAs that they drop off in vans at 3 a.m. You know what I'm saying? There's cameras because, hey, we can't have them in our mental institute because they're taking up thing and we ran out of money and their time is over. So now they become part of the problem instead of the solution.
And there's not one president that's ever faced this issue and tried to solve it from the presidential level. Reagan was the first one to kick them out on the street, the crazy houses. That's what they were as far as I was growing up. They were all known as crazy. They kicked them out on the street and closed down a lot of the federal funding for that in Reaganomics, okay? There was a few things I didn't like about Reagan. I thought he was a great president, but you're not going to like everything about anything. Trumpers. I love Trump anyway, but you know, you're not going to like everything about everybody. That's just the way it is. I hate the Bushies, the most evil satanic family.
People hate things about me.
What could they possibly hate about you?
No.
Yeah.
No, I can't ever believe that.
Yeah.
But so, you know, no president has done anything
Yeah, that's right.
because there's money in it.
Oh, that's what I want to say. As God and you four people as my witness, if I win the lottery, half, 50% of the net will go to solving that, to the homeless, whatever, the abandoned, so on, the abused, the, you know what I'm saying, the streets of America. Let's fix our country first rather than sending hundreds of billions of dollars to countries that hate our guts and want us dead.
Wait a minute. At the last week of the Obama administration, he sent what? How many billions of dollars in a plane stacked up with $1,000 bills to Iran? They in the dead of night.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of deal was that?
You have to pay them off. There's our buddies.
Okay, so, you know, why don't we take that money and drop it in LAX and John Wayne.
Or just go
and-
across the country instead of chemtrails, dropping $50
Chemtrails.
bills.
Chemtrails. Oh, yeah,
Yeah, now we're
chemtrails.
talking about
Oh,
some
wait a
good
minute.
stuff.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Didn't you?
Did I say that out loud?
Dude, you didn't understand God's creation.
I love you
don't
already.
understand
Love
God's
you.
creation,
Love you.
brother. No, you don't understand.
Oh, okay.
God has played a terrible game on us. He didn't teach our teachers to teach us that clouds do create themselves in a checkerboard pattern at 65,000 feet by themselves. You didn't understand that.
Coincidentally, behind a jet that's just going with no
Yeah.
passengers in.
That's just water vapor off the wind.
Wait a minute. I thought
Coincidentally.
it was skywriting.
A checkerboard
So
company
cool.
owns
Yes.
them.
They want to teach everybody in America how to play checkers and chess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
In the sky.
Yahtzee.
In the sky.
It just happens to be 25 years ago when I started noticing it in L.A. that there was more neurological
It hadn't affected me at all.
No, it hasn't
Yeah.
affected, right?
I called
People are
my.
losing limbs.
I
They're
named
like,
my
"What happened?"
girlfriend Checkers because every time I made the wrong move, she jumped.
And my ex-girlfriend isn't much of a wrestler, but you should see her box.
Oh, that's I love that actually. I don't know what the hell that has to do with chemtrails, but I like the jokes.
Well, the boxing has 4 rings and
It's
ropes.
a square
and-
box. You got a box within the square.
I love you guys. Thank
Right.
you
Me
for
until you got the
allowing
4
me to
ropes.
be here. I know we're almost out of time. Thank you, Jesse,
I
Big
don't know
T.
if we're out of time. We're just going over
Are
time.
we going over? Good.
We're going over. How much time we
We
got?
want Lee.
We want Lee.
As
Lee,
mayor of the
come on,
Munchkin
Lee.
City,
You got.
we welcome
See,
you
Lee's going bald on us
to
tonight.
Lollipop.
See, Lee's got no hair in the back because we
He
changed
should
out.
be wired. He's had like 14 chocolate bars, a couple bags of
Yeah.
chips.
I'm ready for those other pills now.
You had some pirate's booty,
We're busting
did
in
you?
the SWAT fuel in this office.
Okay,
Candy-
real quick.
They have
real quick.
popcorn
Candy
called
stand up,
Pirate's
but
Booty.
sex won't
Okay,
rot your
real
teeth.
fast. How much time we got?
You 1
None.
hour now.
Okay. All right, real fast. Can I get 2 more minutes?
No, 1
How about 1 more minute?
1 minute.
How
Wrap
about
it up.
okay?
Let him be a 2-minute man, not a 1-minute man. Come
real
on.
fast, real fast. God, man, thank you, thank you.
Please, Lee.
Just 2 minutes. That's all you need.
He's starting to breathe hard. His eyes are getting glassy.
We're
He's almost there. Stop right there.
Oh yes. Okay, now look at, real quick. Uber drivers. What do you think about them? You love
They
them?
need a lift.
Yeah.
I love them.
Okay.
I meet the best Uber drivers everywhere I go.
Okay.
I've made friends with Uber drivers.
Okay.
Love them. I love the
Okay.
concept.
Banana splits and Sundays.
Haven't had one
Yeah.
in ages, but
I haven't
yummy.
had one. I just,
Root beer floats.
I just
yeah.
went back
Your
to
favorite pet?
dog.
I can't say her name, but she lives in Canada.
She's a kitty. Does she purr?
I don't want to incriminate me. It would have to be dog. Dog is man's best friend.
Real quick. Flying, taking the bus or the train?
Flying.
First class or coach?
If I had the option, first class.
First.
How many first class flights have you taken in the last 10 years?
10, 11.
7.
7?
Yes.
God, can I get one from you guys? Because they stick
You
me
can
in the
sit on
back
my
of the plane.
Yeah. In a little laboratory.
Yeah.
I'd rather drive, though, because meeting people at every gas station, truck stop, hotel, wherever you are, that's, to me, I think about the journey of life, just like meeting you guys that you knew, and, you know what I'm saying? Seeing the same people on the way back, or, wow, that was so cool, and then who's going to stop when you're out of gas or have a flat tire?
It's about the experience.
Yeah.
Favorite junk food? Last one. Favorite junk food?
Reese's.
Oh, yeah. Chocolate covered almonds.
Dan the Man?
Dan.
Croutons.
Croutons? Lee Baby Michael's favorite junk food?
Brownies with walnuts or pecans.
Oh, you like them brownie
And
nuts?
this in
How
them.
about both? Yeah. After some marijuana.
Yeah, you can throw some of that in.
Yeah. Edibles.
Edibles.
We call this Roundup Wound Up, man, and we hope you enjoyed the new version of the Jesse T Show on a Wednesday. We're going to try to do this every Wednesday, bring in a crew. We're going to have some standard guys with us, and it's going to be a good time talking about all the topics. And just real quick, Tracy, what you got coming up real fast for yourself?
Well, lots of new things. I'm actually learning martial arts and boxing right now. So my bucket list has a stunts, action acting. I'm going to be working with Spice Williams Crosby.
One of the best
I know
stunt
real
guys
well.
in the business.
Okay,
One of the
yeah,
best stunt
I
guys
know
in the
who
business,
you
right
are,
here.
and also from Young and the Restless. Love that.
Right.
And so that's new for me. I'm actually going to be moving a little bit out of the fitness competition world and doing the stunts. So I'm leaning down my look a little bit and doing some fitness modeling as well, and just working on my brand and my business, TLC Unleashed.
All right. Dan the Man, the Road Dog King, what you got coming up?
I'm waiting for Martin Gigi's film about the first Afro-American in the NBA, Nat Sweetwater Clifton. It'll be spectacular. It has a great cast, and that'll be in January.
And also the Bronx Bull you were in.
Yeah.
Yes, I played a boxing trainer. That was kind of punchy. Use your right, Jake. Use your right.
David Shark Freilich, what you got coming up, man?
Coming up, hopefully a bunch of stuff back east. I got to do a little road trip out here next week with Mike Michaels, Errol Sack, with Eric Roberts. Had a brain fart there. I was thinking of who his sister was. And another thing with Todd Senefante, doing my own projects, maybe with Jeff Wolf on MacGyver Series 2 in Atlanta, and Garrett Warren with the next Avatar.
And it's a crew, man. Round up crew. That's right. And you, me, Jesse T. Hey, we got this going on every day of the week, Monday through Friday, and you never know where I'm going to show up or what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to be there doing what I do because I can't help but being me. The Brown Beauty is on duty. It's AVTV Live in the Digital Broadcasting Network. Hey, we will talk to you tomorrow at 5 o'clock right here. And until then, see ya later.